back on the dyno. True.
So, what have we done? So, last video, Dr. Draft got majority of the car set up. We destroyed his dyno. So now we're going to Bogger, and we're gonna he's just gonna refine the drivability, chuck it on his hub dyno, so we can't blow that up. And we're gonna get final figures, refined at boosts. We did have an issue with the map sensor, so we weren't getting exactly what boost, like we were getting the wrong reading.
Alright guys, Jesse from the future here. Just thought I would cut into this dyno video you're watching. Just thought I'd elaborate on the dyno. There was weird things going on with the map sensor and the boost pressures being seen, and Doc thought it was his dyno reading wrong. Turns out it was the manifold pressure sensor wasn't calibrated correctly in the ECU. So basically gate pressure was showing 27 pound when really it was only 14 or 15 pound. So on gate pressure of 14, 15 pound, it was making around 470 kilowatt. And then I looked at the logs, and one of the runs where we ran up to about 530 kilowatt, it was showing 37 pound on the ECU. That was actually only 21.5 PSI. So just thought I would time in here and explain that. So basically she made 530 kilowatt on 21.5 pound. We are right now about to take it back to the dyno and touch the tune up and see what she can really make. Anyway, back to the video you were watching.
So we just have to clean that up, and then we'll know exactly what boosts we're running. We can send it. Yeah, apparently the rods max out at 550, or that's what the, you know.
If you're drifting them.
Yeah, something like that. 550, 25 PSI. So we've got a rough something to work off. Done it. Bogger's dyno is different. It is reading off hub, so we'll just be precise. It should be similar, but who knows? Turn her up, fine her up. Could crack 700. Can't know with these things. Yeah. Well, do you want to quickly go over what you've done to this day?
Yeah, nah, fuck all of it. We did a little makeshift heat shield there to stop blasting the brake cylinder and clutch cylinder. I did actually re-bleed the clutch yesterday just to make sure we're getting that full engagement. We comp tested the motor after the rings got broken in by Dr. Draft. He threw some boost at it, did a good break-in session, and we got about 205 to 210 PSI across all six, so that's sick. We had to change the battery isolator to a 6-pole isolator so that the alternator can't run the car when you turn it off. So a little screw up of mine there, and just reconfigure the fuel pump wiring a tiny bit so that when you plug the laptop in, it doesn't ground the fuel pump relays and they don't come on. The home screen for the IC7 dash, which you can't see right now, but configured that a little bit to the files. Yeah,
show the dogs. It's bright. You can see it does. That's correct.
Got all the essentials on there.
Revs, boosts up to 30 PSI. You can sort of see it around here somewhere. Coolant is important. Air temp, don't really care, but it's good to know. Because when that starts getting hot, that means things. AFR, just carrying, it's at 963 at the moment. Right, so fuel in percentage, which is gangster. Your fuel pressure. Oil temp and oil pressure, so all the important things, and a little speedy boy in the middle. See what speed we're going. That's new for a draft car. It's all off GPS too, so it will be accurate when entering a corner and spinning wheels. Okay.
Yes. And also, I'm going to take an educated guess at the majority of you are not subscribed. So go down, check if you're subscribed. If you're not, smack it. Smack the like button while you're there.
There is content. 50% of you not subscribed.
There you go.
Get on it.
Get on it. And if you are subscribed, it's time to become a member. $3, dude.
Don't care.
And we've got codes for you. Spicy, get your merch.
Anyway, let's go to Boggers and make some cool noises.
Yes, let's send it. So stick around, this video is going to be hot. Don't skip it. Watch every millisecond. Rewind it, watch it again. All the way through.
You can zoom in on that, Tom, thanks.
Yeah.
We're here.
BSC. Big, sexy,
Now Boggers got a hub dyno down here, so won't blaze it.
Run after run.
Touch her up and do a 4th gear sitter up the street.
enough base pressure. He's going to play with the map now to fix up that map sensor thing. I reckon it's easy little fix, and then we'll start fine tuning her and wind her up. So, hello, sir.
G'day, mate.
Excited to see you.
Excited to have to wear these for the first time in a long time. She's a raspy boy.
All the raspies.
Make all the powers.
You're coming next weekend for some skids. See if you can keep up.
I don't know if I'll keep up. Try.
Insert video of old mate's car ripping.
Got that. What is it? 1,000 kilowatt freaking 180?
Well, we don't know what it is now. We just got a link in it, so.
Oh, you changed ECU?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put all the boosts in it. I've got to keep up with you. So, what are you going to run? What boost?
I think 25 apparently.
I might have to turn mine up to 25 then too.
Be a good comparison just to see like torque figures like on your dyno, yours versus mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, send it. Beers are we getting it?
And 993 Newton meters.
We made it. 1,000 Newton meters. I think the turbo's running out. We tried to up it. It's on it's on 23 psi. Open it even more, son. All right, now things are quieting up a bit. We'll go over it with what we think is going to be the final result. And Bogger said we can add more down low, or the gate's pretty much open all the way. Timing's up there, but it's nice and safe where it is. And it's a good figure. So I got that 561, 750 HP, nice and responsive. Doesn't run out too crazy as well. What are we limiting at? Oh, you're backing off early.
That's at like 58 up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What do you normally rev these to?
6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. Which it's flattened out at 5.8. The power's flat, so.
Okay, 6.5. Ain't no streak though. Come on, son. 6.5. 23 psi. Right in the middle there. It's nice AFRs. Don't know what I'm looking at there. True. No worries.
We'll get on the HP tuners and fucking touch her up later.
Do a bit more cleaning up, maybe a couple more runs. Get back on the trailer and then
Test skid up the street, back on the trailer, back to the factory, and get this thing into track prep for Sunday.
Big one. Need to work on that, though.
And make sure you check out BSC Performance, bog stock conversions, whichever one it's called.
Loves your diesel tuning, don't you? Love your diesels.
Yeah, diesels.
Diesels, Barras,
There'll be one coming out for your diesel too, yeah?
That'll be before this, actually.
He's already out. So check out when Bogger ran up the F250. Almost broke his dyno. And now apparently we made the world record on his dyno. Highest power Barra.
Yeah. Yep, highest power Barra, and you did the highest powered, well, most torque of a diesel as well. All the torques.
All the torque.
Fragging records.
True.
And on bad. Let me time. So we got one more final run in there, and Bogger tried to max that boost.
Yeah, she went alright, did better.
And he's pretty happy about it. And a bit more cold air, because it was a bit colder and all that. It loved it, revved it out. Anyway, we've got the comparison before we bail of his Hulk 180. So we got, the green is the Barramundi and the blue is the, what is it? It's a shitty LS one or something.
Yeah, just a 4.8 LS1, you know, D-stroked nugget.
Well, they call them LSX, I don't even know what that is.
It's an LSR block, so it's a 427 alloy 7 litre.
And what
LS
turbo?
engines.
It's an intense 88mm.
It's like this big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Like, sucks in small babies.
That's it. So she made, what is it, 880?
874.
874. And then the boost, it's running 12 PSI. And there's 100 PSI. What's this one again? Torque.
Yeah,
So I've got all the torque down here, and he's real laggy.
I'm a lag monster.
It's a laggy boy. And then it just takes off to the moon and makes 1300 Newton meters. We got 108 in the end. Nice, not bad.
So we're at 1303. And you peaked at 1008.
Yes. But it's settled on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, let's get out of here, son.
Yes.
Get out of here, I've got work to do.
Yeah, you're not gonna get grip.
No grip. That was like straight away. 2000 RPM, wheel spin 265.
They need to be warm. There's proper drive.
Shifting's gangster. It didn't feel that like retarded the drive. It just like
No, because it had no grip.
Just like
Yeah.
ice baby.
It's like driving a car in the wet.
Well, that was good.
Once she's gripped up,
Once she gripped up,
your heart's gonna sink. Anyway,
let's load her up. Next stop, wheel alignment, then
flares, then go and drift.
go and draft. Hopefully, everyone's a bit iffy about it because we're right out of lockdown. And we'll do what we can, otherwise Mexico City. We got Rego, go street cruising. Do a little street cruise.
A Sunday drive.
Nice.
Hey guys, we're down here at
Traction Tyres.
Traction Tyres. This is Marcus Backie.
Backie McCathie.
What's going on?
We got the nugget here. Marcus is going to get her driving straight. We're doing a basic setup today, are we?
Well, we'll pretty much set up everything we can in it, and we'll get a good baseline to start doing some track testing and adjustments and go from there.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing, mate?
What am I doing at the moment? We're adjusting the droop level, so we're preloading the spring slightly to reduce the front droop. We basically just want enough droop to throw weight to the rear.
So what did I have?
I had about 45mm droop before, so we're aiming for about 25.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot, you reckon?
That's about what I found the sweet spot is, yeah.
What'd you do on your beast?
That's about 20. So I went less and it just didn't seem to transfer as much weight, to be honest.
True.
Yeah, minor subtle changes and stuff, but...
Science.
Yes, science!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to start drifting again. That's the all the Kang language is going to start up again.
100%. What's this all about?
We are changing the strut axis inclination, or often referred to as KPI as well, but that's old school.
That's a ticket, KPI.
Yeah. Essentially, we're changing how much the wheel is going to lean over at lock. Because we're running a car that's going to be running at big angle all the time, at a lot of lock, we're going to try and reduce how much it's going to roll over.
True. So it's got a little slotty boy.
Yeah, so all I got is just have a slot and you can unbolt it and slide it in and out. This has got a different plate, so it's like two positions you can rotate it around to.
Yeah.
Marcus, we're in the rear end.
We are.
Playing around in the buttocks.
That's it. So just getting the panhard rod set up, centralise the track, and adjust the diff pinion angle. So there's a couple of different ways that everyone does it, but the main way we start off with is we're measuring the gearbox output shaft angle, and we're actually setting the diff to be about 1.5 degrees down on that, matching on the same line. So
we're like
basically
4 degrees here,
and we'll basically be at 2.5 degrees.
2.5 here.
And the other thing we found too is that we're pretty much seeing on bump stops, so Shockworks is going to have to make up another set of shocks, just because the travels are basically wrong. So we've got way too much downward travel right now and no actual squat travel. So
Shockworks is going to whip us up some shorter ones of them.
Yeah. All right, we're on some front end now. What have we done, son?
Two little things. So we worked out with the Stagia rack that it's actually offset to the right. And we had two bolt-in rack spaces. So this basic tie rod was actually a lot shorter than that side. And the pivot point's in different location, which creates different bump steer side to side. So what we've done is actually gone back to just a slip in this side. We've got our pivot points to be a lot closer than they were. They were very far out.
Yeah, because we had like no thread on this, yeah?
Yeah, so that was almost wound all the way
That's how we
in,
noticed it.
And this was all the way out.
So now they look nice and even-ish.
When we jacked it up before, it had like 6-7mm more bump steer just to droop on that side compared to this. We've also made a bump steer correction to the tie rod because it did still have some bump steer. Obviously we can't really test dynamic bump steer at full lock, but we can do static checks and get it close. And we've also made an Ackerman change, which is nice and easy on these Acostal knuckles. So it had 0 Ackerman before, we've put the time.
Pop that out and it just clips, doesn't it?
That's it. So yeah, you just loosen off the main bolt, undo, move to a different slot.
Okay.
And we've also worked out, obviously, that our tail shaft is getting very, very close to floor. So we are actually going to have to raise up the whole car, to be honest, because we obviously want to keep the reverse rate we've got at the moment.
This car's supposed to be function over form.
Yes.
Try and meet in the middle a little bit, but this car is all supposed to be function, so we'll raise it up a bit. We'll just slam the flares down to make up for it.
That's it. That's what we can do. And we're running a reverse rake too, so which we do a lot in drift cars. So we're running the front about 15mm higher than the rear, just to aid in shifting weight to the rear faster.
Yeah, boy. Something you did point out in the rear too was this angle here. You reckon it's not ideal?
So we will definitely want to remake these brackets to drop them down, it'll basically change your anti-squat significantly in this, particularly from how low you are at the moment. That's how bad it is. These naturally point down.
Oh, raising a bit will help that tiny bit.
Significantly in forward drive.
But something for us to work on if we're struggling for grip, which I doubt, but still. We can weld a little box on here, down a bit lower and
Yes, we'll
flatten it out.
Play with at least, like we'll get everything where we know a good starting point, and we can play around with it from there and work out what does what and change it around as we need.
Nice.
Getting there, fairly involved setup. So.
All right. So we've done something. What have we done?
We basically got everything close to where we want it, to within a few few degrees. So we're basically got ready for quarter weighting now. So that's going to that'll change a few things here and there, and we'll do the final tweaks after that.
Moment of truth, son. We're gonna make some guesses.
Yeah.
So I've got the old stats here. Had old mate Alex K come around. The old wags, 52
Front, 48
front, 48 rear, so it was almost 50-50.
How much
and it weighed total 1,416 kilograms.
Which is what in pounds?
Don't know.
What's your guess for this?
I reckon we'll be up. I feel like we've got more weight in this thing. I mean, the barrows are obviously a little bit more heavier. They say that they're similar to 1J, 2J. I don't know. I reckon we'll be at go 1480.
I'll go 1490, and I'll go 5545.
Oof, the weight split.
I'm just going to be an optimistic boy. We're going in with the 1445.
Oh, true. Keep it light.
Yeah.
We do have. I mean, we're missing some windows. And we are missing a few things.
rear.
We've got the Saxy bonnet right there. Jesse's done a bit of work on it. So we'll sit that on. We've got some dash and shit in. So what else is left? Just we've got windows and bars.
Front bash bar is the biggest
Tail
thing.
lights.
So there's going to be another 15 kilos on the front there.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be like a 49.51.
I'll change the 1470.
14.70? 49.51 split at 14.45.
49.51. You're optimistic.
I'll go 53.47.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right.
Damn, that's some nice door cards, son.
Black chrome handles.
Go fourth gear dumpy right here.
Alright, she's on the scales, boys. That echo. What did I get?
I'm right. 13.55.
13.55.
Minus-
She's a light boy.
Minus 4 flares, some Lexan windows, a wing, a bash bar, bumper, skirts, and rear bar. So,
It's about 100 kilos.
nah.
We were definitely off, but there's probably
40 or 50. So
at least 50 kilo.
You'll top out at 1,400. I don't reckon you'll go over
So it's
1,400.
lighter than the old wags. You reckon?
Well, the other one was 1420. I reckon this will honestly be about that once it's all together.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Split wise,
Pretty
front to rear, we've got
Front to rear.
6.5 rear,
56.
43.5 obviously on the rear.
Yeah, so
Our
a bit,
cross splits at the moment are pretty crap, so we'll play around with that.
bit heavier up front, but what can we do?
It's heavier basically in the right rear and left front.
Okay, so we can even it out.
we can even out that through corner weighting basically, so we're going to make adjustments on all four to keep the thing at the same height, but
Right.
load up each corner.
Rear. What is in the right rear? What the filling there?
Nothing, what it essentially
Just the
means
weight
is
of the suspension.
basically the left
The
front and the
heights.
right rear is what's actually supporting the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go down.
What happens? Do you weight it with like me in the car, my fat ass?
We can weigh you with you in the car if you want. We can try and get it a little bit closer, but you usually can't. You can never really shift weight across to a different side. So usually what I do is just get as 50-50 cross weights, and then realistically it's allowing you're going to sit with 2 people in the car anyway.
True.
And you can always position more weight to the left with stuff you're putting in it. That's really the only way to properly offset the driver. I can't just shift weight to the left by corner weighting.
I've got a battery behind the passenger at the moment, so it's one thing.
Yeah, we'll see what it comes to once it actually gets fixed up, how close we can get it.
Not bad, not bad.
This is some proper race car shit right here.
That's it.
This is some in-depth stuff, yep.
Figure we have a look at the lock after his KPI adjustments and all that. Looks that bonnet's spicy, by the way. That's a lot of lock. Better hands clearance. So it's not bad, I'm gonna
It'll be a good size.
plenty of clearance back there. She loves it. Good clearance in there. Touch and lock stop. Because the car's off.
It's the car's up, but it won't touch it.
Yeah. What do we get out of the weight again when you adjusted the height? You went about 5 mil up higher on that side?
5 mil lower on that
Lower.
side. We were higher on the left front anyway.
Yep.
We managed to shift about 35 kilo from the right front to the left front, and maybe 10 kilo across on the 10 kilo across on the back. It's about the best we're going to do at the moment. Yep. We can play around with it a lot more with the rear springs as well, but they're a pain to take out and adjust every time.
Yeah,
so
we'll do that after the car's all together.
yeah, we might as well wait till it's at final weight before we play around looking for every little.
But we
bit.
ended up with 55.
55, 45 front rear.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, just the final tweaks, lock everything up in place, and we're done.
Off to Wanson.
Just dump it straight and forth, yeah. Down on something.
She finished. Let's go through it, son. What have we got here? What have we got here on this sheet of paper?
Well, your specs at the moment, you basically got 6 degrees cam on the front, 7 degrees caster, 10 more toe out across the front.
Oh, perfection.
Perfection. You know, I'm OCD, mate.
To the mill. To the point.
Yes,
Mill.
and we've squared up the rear diff as well.
That's it.
It does have a tiny bit of toe out on the rear, but obviously so can't fix much of that.
That's one thing that's annoying about the diff build is they could have asked me put a little bit of toe in. I didn't realise that you couldn't put them dead straight. I just figured that they were dead straight. I had a look at the old wagon alignment. I pulled it up and that had the same, about 2 mil toe out.
Yeah,
overall.
and obviously a lot more goes into it than what's like actually just on the readings, obviously. But yeah, good starting platform.
Yeah. You spent most of the day here now.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm wrecked.
Solid session. Marcus has been grinding.
Yes, he has. He smashed it. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries, bro.
And we'll be back when we play with it and ruin it all on the weekend.
Yeah.
Go bend it up and jumbo.
That's it. Quick shout out to Traction Tyres for letting us do this after hours.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't care about them.
Nah.
Traction tyres, come down here to Brogville. Get
it.
your traction in through your tyres.
Set up Jesse's car, went out, took first in Pro him the next day.
Yeah, wait, not just Jesse's car, who run Battle Royale Pro as well.
True, Tori and Cam's cars got set up.
Both
here
cars
for
that
a
won
second.
Battle Royale Pro and Amateur.
You got no excuses now, mate. You got the winning alignment.
That's it. Well, time attack, here we come.
We do a whole bunch of stuff, like even 40s and 50s cars, custom built kit cars. No matter what, we're pretty much interested in doing
Got a
it.
whole lot of advans going on here.
Yeah, we do a lot of motorsport stuff as well. So
Yes. All right, cheers, bro.
awesome. Catch you, bro.
Hey. We're back in the workshop. Marcus killed it yesterday on the alignment on this thing. And we are sitting 5 days out from testing her at Winton Raceway. So the official track prep grind is on. We got flares, bash bars, windows, firewalls, stuff to make this thing safe to drive. About to spray a border on some of these windows. So I just cut out a 50mm border of the plastic protective. So I can spray a border on there. That's the rear side ones, and then the tailgate one's gonna get the same treatment. Starting to mock up some flares. Your girth. Got the dummy windscreen out so we can get the crispy V8 Supercar spec windscreen in there. Front windows are in. The Lexan 4mm. Got Lexan to put in all these other ones. Got an enclosure for the fuel cell to seal it off from the driver. Seal that off. Seal that off. Whole lot of sealing off. So yeah, keep yous updated as we go. True. Alright, testing prep is well underway for the Wagoon. I'm doing flares at the moment. We're starting to stick in some of the Lexan windows. So I got all the door windows in, all Lexan. Me sprayed up ones. Got the rear ones stuck in. They're filthy at the moment. But yeah, side one, which is actually not sticking that well. But yeah, starting to get some windows in there. Still got that one to do. Chopped up the guard even more and grind it back. And then over here, I've chopped up the front flares. So this is what they come like. And then this is what I've chopped the front ones down to. They're gonna be pretty rough at the moment. I'm gonna get them welded on there, but they're gonna need some neatening up after this weekend. But for now, get the flares on and keep cracking on with this thing. Flares are coming along, Kang. Front flares welded on. Looking aggressive as Falcon. Oof. Oof. Just doing the rears now. I got one side just tacked on. Looking good. Side skirt's just sitting on there for mock up. But yeah, we'll have to do a cutout for the door, obviously. A lot of cutting, grinding and welding has been done to get to this point. So basically chop like a heap out, weld it all up, and then a little bit of silicone just to make sure it's fully sealed. Chopping in there and chopping there as well. I'll get Jace to give us a hand and we'll get this one in position, tack it on as well, and keep grinding onto this thing. I got the fuel cell enclosure folded up and welded up, so I got some seal to put on that and start getting that installed as well.
The old texture gauge, come to making skills coming back. Just like so. Mould it to that ass. It's 5mm bigger than the other side, so this will suck that ass. Oh shit, texture's done.
Yeah, that's a big 5mm.
You measure 5mm up there, you know? It becomes 10mm on the vertical, on the angles, triangles, you know?
But you measured on the angle 5mm.
Like, if you measure from there to there, 5mm. This is hanging 5mm further out, you know? So you're thinking about the triangles, huh? Yeah.
Alright, we're on the second last day of grinding on this thing. The flares are complete. Looking bloody gangster. I just gave them a quick squirt of primer on the welds just to stop some of the rusting. Still gonna rust like a dog, I'm sure. But, oof, damn, they're fat as. Looks so good. The car's on the hoist, so it actually tucks tyre in the rear and looks sick. But anyway, you'll see that eventually. I'm cracking on with this cover here for the fuel cell, so the mini firewall. So here's the cover. I've just sealed her up with various sealing methods. Looks calm. So obviously this is going to get powder coated, but for now I'm going to get it bolted in with some riv nuts and probably some fancy dress washers and Allen bolts. Maybe they will go in eventually. I'm not sure if I'll put them in for this weekend or not, but get this in there, get it sealed off. Alrighty, rear firewall, if you want to call it that, is all in. Got the fancy nuts and bolts, bloody washers and bolt things. I just dummied up the shift boot just to get by. So I drilled, I riveted on these button things that clip like the fabric on, like that. So just a little bit of something. There's a little bit of shit back there, but it's gonna be really difficult because of where that shifter goes. Really hard to seal off. So that'll do for now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the harnesses in. So over here, shout out to BSC Performance once again for hooking us up with some of the best stuff. So this is for their new range, I believe. They're 3-inch harnesses, FIA approved without using a harness device, so pretty sick. They only had one of the purple in stock so far. So we're gonna throw this in for the driver, and then the passenger's gonna get a spare harness we got sitting over there that's actually Damien Cook's. Shout out Damo if you're watching this, because we borrowed it at an event. It's a camo harness. So we're gonna put that in the passenger seat so I can go for a lap in this bad boy. I gotta do a service on this thing, so I gotta do a little bit of a nudge bar. Hopefully Corey bloody does it for me. Get some spares together. Should be ready to bloody blaze to the moon. It's gonna go nuts. Unfortunately, we didn't get the reducer in time to do the diff back 5-inch section, so it's going to be mega raspy boy for this weekend. You'll definitely hear it from a while away. It'll be very recognisable sound for sure. Corey smashed out a little top nudge bar so Jason can go run into people on the weekend. So We're getting a bit of a feeling that this video is going to be mass long. I know we said that testing was going to be in this one, but we might have to wrap her up here.
Yeah, maybe.
Stay tuned.
She's ready to go.
Sucked in
Tomorrow she's
again.
getting loaded up. She will be getting on track. But you can't skip all the process. A lot goes into this build.
Yeah.
I know some of you want to see it, so throw it in there for you.
Yeah, we could cut out a lot of the detailed stuff.
Let us know if you want us to cut it out.
And
You just want all action.
And you could see drifting in this one. But we might just leave in some of the filler footage and
Subscribe that out.
like that as.
Ring that bell.
Share it.
See you next time.
Comment down below.